gift of Jesus. So I want to just chat for a moment, and you can all start answering me. Let's talk about Christmas. Anything that comes to mind, obviously Jesus, but anything else? Tell me about your weeks lately. What do you think about? What's been going on at this time? Holidays.
Giving.
Sorry?
Giving.
Giving. Any negativity? Too busy? Stress? Crowds? Shopping? Traffic? Blind budgets? When we talk about giving gifts, now all these things I'm going to use today, I'm going to use a few analogies. So try not to misunderstand me. I'm not saying they're bad things. I'm just using them as an example to make the point when we compare to the gift from God. So I'm not saying there's anything wrong with you giving gifts, but let's just look at the gifts that we give. And you can certainly add to this if you can think of anything. I believe it's true, not necessarily every gift and not every person, but it can be common for our gifts to be conditional. They can be budget orientated or budget limited. When I say conditional, an example of that, I mean even with the worldly look with Santa Claus, which the world out there is big on, but even the songs and the things they imply from that imply the kids have to be good. Most of you would have heard that, the songs they sing, and what Santa's got a list. So the kids are told they have to be good to get a gift. And so that's instilled in our culture, it's instilled in our mindset from a very young age. There's also the idea that someone buys for you, you've got to buy for them. You won't be able to, but it's the right thing to do. People make lists and tell you what aisle to go down. And unless you get the right item, you're going to hear about it, or you'll know about it some way. It'll be re-gifted or on eBay. But what about people you don't like, or you are obliged to buy for some reason? How do you feel about that? Are you happy? Do you give them the same thought? Do you spend the same money on them? We dress our gifts up in fancy wrapping, even if it's just a gift card. Now, you probably just got the gist of it. We watched that little video just summarising what God has done. That's a little different to the gift God has given us. I'm going to talk about it further, but let's say some of the obvious things. It is an unconditional gift. It is undeserved. We do not deserve it, let alone were we good. It's available to everyone. It's free. It reveals God to us. His grace, how gracious it is. And at the highest possible cost of his Son. And it's acted in love. He doesn't just say he loves us. He doesn't just say, I'll give you a gift. He's done it, and he did it physically and in action. And the advantage that this is, there's no boasting of us. It's not about us. It's only what God has done. He spent the same amount on every single person on earth. Anybody who's lived before is alive now and yet to live. There's no favouritism in God. Doesn't matter whether you're race, colour, economic, country, or even religion. Because we read in Romans that God demonstrates his own love towards us in that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. So that's where I was going with that idea. What about people you don't get along with or don't like you, even for no good reason? So I want to keep that in mind. So just as we go on with this idea of Christmas and the way it can be done in the world, just have a quick look at this little video. And again, this is to illustrate the point. It's actually a little bit mean what they've done here, but you'll see what I mean in a minute. Thank you, Abby.
Yes, Charlie?
I don't like this. Oh.
What is it?
An old banana.
An old banana? Isn't that exciting?
No.
What are you doing?
Pushing it.
Oh, okay.
Wow. A battery and an onion. What's wrong?
I don't want onion.
Did you smell your onion? Here, smell it.
Oh, I smelled it. Eggs.
Open it.
A hot dog.
What is that?
I got a girl activity book with stickers. I'm not a girl. I'm not a boy. I'm not a boy either. The worst present ever.
Marissa, what do you tell me all the time about my cooking?
I love it.
You love my cooking, so I made you something.
Then why is it like... why is it peanut butter and jelly sandwich stuff like that? You should appreciate her getting us a present, but I didn't know it would be like that. Yes, a sandwich of mine. I love your cooking when you cook like dinners, like Hot Pockets or pasta or buffalo wings, something like that. Not just a sandwich. And why would you eat off of it?
Well, Marissa, so you don't want that peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
I'll eat it. I'll eat it.
Okay, well, that was designed result. Made me laugh too. It's mean, isn't it? It was a mean joke they played. But that's going to illustrate some wonderful points when we talk about what God's given us. Something pretty obvious. That's not the kind of gift God's given us. He wouldn't give us a gift to get a reaction that's not favourable from us. But I'd just like to suggest the way some of those children reacted to those gifts they didn't like is the way many people treat the gift of Jesus. They might not understand it, they don't appreciate it, they don't see the value in it. They miss the love and value behind it. They have an idea of how they think it should be. And so I think the point illustrated with that is that I think that's easy for people to do. So let's just look at the gift a little bit more and try and get our heads around it. We can't. I actually don't think we fully can. We can only go so far. But let's see how far we can get. Most of you would know this verse from John. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish but have everlasting life. For God did not send his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. As I mentioned before, we wrap our gifts up, make them look pretty. Again, I'm not saying that's a problem, I'm just illustrating points. We just saw in that little video, and as we read the word, what a humble arrival to such a precious, priceless gift. Didn't even have room in the inn. God revealed himself to man through his Son. It's so personal, it's so real. That's a thoughtful gift. It cost God everything. He couldn't give any more than his only Son. I touched on it before. Who has somebody in their life they might not get along with, regardless of whose fault it is? Maybe don't even like them, to be truthful. Nobody? Only one person? Okay, we all doing really well. Oh, good. That's better. Okay. Now, on the positive side, who has someone they love dealing with? Flaws and everything. So can you imagine, just for a moment, having to feel the love of that person that hates you, or that you don't like, or doesn't like you, regardless of what the circumstances are? Would you give up the one you love to show them? To show them how much you actually love them? Wherever it is, partner, child. That's just got to get our head around what God has done here. This gift is reconciliation to Almighty God, the creator of the entire universe and each and every one of us. There's nothing too broken in this world, in our relationships or within your body, that he can't fix. His business is reconciliation. This gift of his is reconciliation. And his business is reconciliation. He's brilliant at it. You don't get any more of an expert. So this gift has been expertly crafted. This gift is not like other gifts. It lasts forever. It's eternal. Romans 8:38. I am persuaded that neither death, nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor height, nor depth, any created thing shall be able to separate us from the love of God, which is in Christ Jesus our Lord. Absolutely nothing can take this gift from you. Nothing. It never fades, it never loses value. You can never lose it or misplace it. It's the ultimate gift. What we need to do, as some of us have, is accept it unconditionally. Now this is something I believe we have trouble with. And I touched on it when I say that culture teaches kids you've got to be good to get something. So it comes into our mindset, okay? So when God offers us this gift freely, we think there's conditions attached. We hesitate. And I think that's why that illustration, that video, those children reacting that way, I think that's where it comes from. We don't believe it. Now, I've got a couple of examples I just want to share with you. Some of you know we went to McDonald's back in November, did Ministry of Legends, where we surprised some people. We were there for an hour or so, just came up behind them at checkout and bought their coffee, paid for it, paid for their meal. And those that were there or have testified since would know we got some interesting reactions. It ended up being, it was always a good reaction by the end, and I was sounded and surprised, but sometimes that wasn't the first response. They were very suspicious. Why? What do you want? That's not normal. And I think that's where the difficulty is out there. I think that's people's reaction, that the world is harsh. There's a lot out there that's not godly. And so God's offering this gift. And it's difficult for people to realise it is free. Another example I heard was one of the speakers, Nigel Lights, Duplantis, he just mentioned something which I thought I came across. And this wasn't a money issue. Some of you may know about him. Whatever the situation is anyway, it's not about money, but the point was he was doing ministry and there's a plane involved here, so there's plenty of money. But someone else in his ministry or with him wanted to bless him by paying for the fuel, whatever they were doing to do a ministry thing. And he, like you do, no one knows, right, I don't need it, I've got the money's there, or the fuel's there, whatever the case was. Not necessary, thank you. How many of us do that to gifts? You think, oh no, that's going to cost you too much, or I don't need it. Okay, that's another problem we get. And he had to be, God worked with him over time, because it wasn't about the money. Of course he didn't need it, but it was about the fact that God wanted to bless him, or bless the ministry, through this other man by paying for the fuel. So it wasn't even about him anyway. And so it's very easy for us to go, oh, hang on a minute, I don't deserve that, or I don't need that, I can pay that for myself. That seems to be very common in our culture anyway, and we've got to get past this mindset. Because in actual fact, he said, how do you think the giver feels? He legitimately felt to give it to you, or wanted to give it to you, and you rejected it. So it actually hurts the person who's trying to bless you, even though you're doing it out of a good heart. It's a backward way. And this is the thing with Jesus. It's not rocket science, it's not complicated. We need to accept it, like most children will take the gift, as you saw in that little video. That wasn't a problem. How they reacted to it was a problem, and the gift itself was a problem in that video, but again, illustrates the point. That last video of that one girl, I thought was quite interesting. The girl obviously didn't like the half-eaten sandwich. Very unreasonable of her, right? So she was rejecting it. But what did the boys say? I'll eat it. He was quite happy to accept it. So he was right. The gift mightn't have looked right. It might not seem the way it should have been, but he accepted it. So that's what we need to do. Now this gift, we can't pay God for it. And he doesn't want you to. That's another thing that trap will fall into. He didn't give it to you for you to repay it. It's another mindset we have in our culture, which is what I was saying before. Someone buys you a gift. Oh, that's worth $20 and you have to spend $20 back on them. Not about that at all. It's a gift. It's not, gift doesn't need to be repaid. All God wants is you. Not what you can do, not your money, not your gifts, not things of value to you, but you. That's all he wants. And that's why he sent this gift, to win you back. It's above material, it's a relational gift. It's a priceless gift, and what a gift it is. All he wants you to do is seek his face, accept the gift of his son. It wasn't God's fault that man fell. It wasn't God's fault that we were separated from him. And only he could fix it. And he chose to. In Romans we read, therefore, as through one man's offence judgment came to all men, resulting in condemnation, even so through one man's righteous act the free gift came to all men, resulting in justification of life. For as by one man's disobedience many were made sinners, so also by one man's obedience many will be made righteous. And here's the kicker. You accept this gift and God's still not finished giving. Because further along we read, what then shall we say to these things? If God is for us, who can be against us? He who did not spare his own son, but delivered him up for us all, how shall he not with him, Jesus, also freely give us all things that we need? Now, something that's come to me, just following this, as you're hearing this message today, I hope it's speaking the Lord's words to you, not me. I'm learning, as just God, and I believe an idea came to me, hopefully from God, to say a pastor. I think that one of the things we do is point. Okay? A pastor points to Jesus, to God, because it's not me. I can't solve your problems. I can't fix everything. But I can point you to the one who can, the one who's got everything. It's between you and the Creator. Don't compare yourself to anyone else. It's not about who's sitting up the front, you know. As I said, my L plates are on, and I've already got a plan that I'm taking that with me for the rest of my life. Anywhere I do anything. Because we are always learning. That's what God's doing with us. One of the things He does with us, you know. And another little thing that came to us when I was talking to Nigel the other day was about something which is true. He's not here today. He's the senior pastor of this church. So if someone wanted to do something or raise an issue, I can say, senior pastor's not here. Can I take a message? But you know what? Nigel is the senior pastor and the principal of this church. But the senior pastor, I can take a message for you and he'll get back to you. Oh, what's that? Oh, that's clever. Now, if for those of you that accepted this gift, today is just about remembering it. I believe God gave me this vision. Again, this is just an analogy and it's probably not a great one, but just to illustrate the point. It's like, if you just want to look at it from a worldly point of view, someone gave you a Porsche. Right, a really valuable gift. Okay? And after a bit of time, you might use it every day and it's just a car. You've forgotten that it's a Porsche. And it's just today, I'm just hoping to remind ourselves it's not just a Porsche. It's not like the other cars. It's come with a lot of benefits and features and it's worth a lot more. Additionally, maybe you've put it in the garage because you're worried about hurting it. You locked it in the garage and you haven't taken it out. Very easy to do. So today, for those of you that have accepted the gift, let's just reignite your fire for it. Let's remember the value of it, how big it is, and take it out of the garage, take it for a spin. Let Jesus drive you around. If you haven't accepted this wonderful gift, it's free. It is not hard. There are no conditions except come and accept it. So if there's anybody here who would like to do that now, I know it's difficult, but feel free to come up. I'm just a person. Anyone here can start your hand. And we can pray for you and help you. It's not about us. You do it between you and the Lord. And that's okay. God knows what's going on with you. You don't even need to come up. Let's just pray. We'll bring this to the Lord. Lord, we thank you for the gift of Jesus. We can only use words. We can't repay you, you don't want us to. All you want is us. We just pray you would help everybody here hearing this message. Remember that's what it's about. It's not about what we've got, not about what we can do for you. It's not about gifts. It's not about things. It's just us. That's what you want. And when we get that, everything else falls into place. Because then we want to be like you and do what your will is. And Lord, I just pray for every person here, you know their circumstances. For those of us that have accepted your gift, I just pray for a reignited fire to remember, or get another glimpse of the value of it, and to not take it for granted, and to remember that it will never fade. It never goes away, it doesn't lose value, and it's a priceless gift. And we thank you so much for it. Just help us to put some perspective into it. Because our circumstances can take us off you and off that. And your gift is so above that. And Lord, if there are those here that's going to pray it all now, regardless of whether we said it before or not, and you will know if the person is saying it in their heart and come to you. Father God in heaven, If not, repeat after me if you feel to. Father God in heaven, thank you for your precious Son, Jesus. Help me to never forget what it cost you. To remember that this is a free gift. All we need to do is accept it unconditionally. We acknowledge that we fall short of your standard. We thank you that you solved the problem. And we accept your gift of Jesus and what he did to redeem us on the cross. And that by accepting this gift, we are right with you. And that is the truth. And we just pray, Lord, that if you would guide us in our thinking, in the way we look at things and change us from the inside out, but always remembering the truth and value of this gift. So please forgive me for all my sins and everything I've done. No matter how small or big, it doesn't matter, you know. And all of it is covered by this gift. So we ask for forgiveness in Jesus' name. So please forgive us in Jesus' name. Repeat that after me, church. I accept your precious Son and what he has done for me. And the church said, in Jesus' mighty name.